Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the CV-TEC Satellite Campus. We are so pleased to have you all here today for a very special announcement. One of our extraordinarily talented CTE teachers has been acknowledged as a national exemplar. The Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Foundation annually celebrates excellence in the trades by awarding $1 million to 18 recipients nationwide. This year, over 600 applicants from all over the country in the skills trades were nominated for the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Award. For 3 years consecutively, Mr. Thomas Aubin, our CV-TEC welding teacher, has made it through the first round and celebrated as a semifinalist. However, this year, it is my distinct honor on behalf of all of us at the Champlain Valley Educational Services CV-TEC Division announce on behalf of the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Foundation that Mr. Thomas Aubin has been named a winner of this prestigious award on a national level, celebrating his technical excellence, and will be awarded $50,000. Congratulations, Mr. Aubin. At this time, I would like to introduce our CVES District Superintendent, Dr. Mark Davey.
Good morning, everyone. This is an exciting and happy day at CVES, a day many years in the making. Mr. Thomas Aubin, our esteemed welding instructor at the CV-TEC Plattsburgh Satellite Campus, as Mrs. Friedman acknowledged, has been named a winner of the 2020 Harbor Freight Tools for Schools National Teaching Prize. He is one of 18 prize winners this year. This $50,000 award includes $35,000 coming to CV-TEC and $15,000 to Mr. Aubin. Amazing. I would like to thank Mr. Aubin for his obvious dedication to his students, not just this year, but for the past 20 plus years, since 1996. Mr. Aubin has been a runner-up for this award for many years, and I couldn't be happier to know that national recognition of the highest quality of his welding program has arrived. Now the entire nation knows what we have known for decades, and that Mr. Aubin is an exceptional and highly skilled teacher, and his knowledge and dedication have benefited CV-TEC students for many, many years. Mr. Aubin, we are indeed fortunate to have you on our team. On behalf of Champlain Valley Educational Services, our board, our BOCES board, and all of our component district, Mr. Aubin, we recognize you and say congratulations for this well-deserved award. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mr. Jim McCartney, who is the principal of our satellite campus for CV-TEC. Mr. McCartney.
Thank you, Dr. Davey. Thank you, Michelle. Tom, it's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure and a thrill to be working with you each day that I come to this campus. Over the years, you have demonstrated so many wonderful skills. I'd like to just talk for a second about the personal side of Tom Aubin, because I see him in so many ways that people might not professionally. His own son has taken his welding program and has thrived as a result of that. Tom is really a Renaissance man. He's a carpenter, he's an electrician, he just built his own shop, a massive shop at his home. He works on automobiles for his family. He's an artist. He carves. He's got so many different talents that lend themselves to me for pride and a source of honor and a source of recognition that extend way beyond just the professionalism that he has each day and demonstrates each day as a welding teacher. Mr. Aubin currently has 64 welding students enrolled both day and night. He just started an adult education class last night for 13 additional students in addition to those students that he sees each week. So Tom, all I can say is I respect you, I appreciate you, and we look forward to more years of wonderful service as a welding instructor at CV-TEC. Thank you.
Mr. Aubin, would you like to say a few words?
Well, I'm not really prepared to make a speech. However, it's been a long process. You know, I've been applying for this for 4 years. It requires quite a bit of research. You have to do learning modules. You have to write essays, bragging about your own program, bragging about the school. I just want to say thanks to all my co-teachers who have helped me along the way. This is a team effort. I mean, I get the recognition because I did the application, but I think anybody who would have applied at the school could have achieved this. It's just been a lot of work and a lot of cooperation from other people, so I really appreciate the group as a whole. I think the school deserves the recognition. I know the focus of the application was to benefit the students. That's our main focus. I do get a little bit of cash for my efforts, which is nice also. But the main focus is to benefit the kids, and I think it's going to go a long ways towards helping our program. I really appreciate it.
So again, we would like to thank you all for joining us today as we celebrate the significant accomplishments of our expert teacher, Mr. Aubin, through this national recognition. It goes without saying that in the world that we're in, as I look out and see everybody in masks and socially distant, reminding us that CTE is essential. The work that we do in career and technical education has risen to the occasion, especially during this pandemic. CTE has kept our economy running, it's kept our businesses open, it's kept the world running strong. It's because of teachers like Mr. Aubin and the exceptional teaching and professional staff of CV-TEC that we get to be a part of the CTE world and continue to make that work essential. We thank you all for joining us today, and again, another round of applause for Mr. Aubin. Thank you.
What did you have to do exactly?
All right, so the application process, basically you have to give them your resume and your professional history, what places you've ever worked at, what education background you have. It also asks you a lot about the school, what the school does for students, how the program could be benefited by such an award. The main focus obviously is to get new equipment and benefit the program specifically. So they ask a lot of questions about your program. How do you track your success of your students? How do you measure that? How do you make future goals? They send you learning modules. I want to say there's around 6 or 8 modules depending on what year it was. And you have to do essays based on those learning modules, talking about what in those modules you currently do for your program and what you don't do that you'd like to try. How would it benefit your students and how would you track that? And that's basically the application process. So it's rather lengthy. It's over the summer. It's not during the school year.
I was going to say, after applying 4 times, you've written probably a lot of essays.
Yeah, I've written quite a few. I want to say there's an average of 10,
Okay.
but they're really short. I don't want to make it sound too terrible. If anybody wants to try to apply for it, I mean, it's a great opportunity for sure. It's definitely some work, and it's very, very specific. So the modules are, so it's doable. You know, after 4 years, every year I've been getting a gift card for Harbor Freight for $1,000 for the program, and the kids love it. We get them to go online and do an online shopping cart, decide what we want to get, and it's pretty exciting. So that's always good. This is better.
Yeah, this is a
You know?
really big prize.
Yeah.
After 4 years of applying as well, what's it like to finally win?
It's a relief, honestly. It's a lot of work, and I just felt like sooner or later, mathematically, my number would come. I was hoping. I wasn't really expecting it, but I'm really happy that it happened. Yeah, for sure.
I know this is going to be a longer discussion, but is there any burning thing that you think you ought to get with your 35 grand? Is there any, like, I know what I would buy for communications, but
Yeah.
Well, you know, you think of welding, you might think of welders and welding equipment specifically, but I have actually given it quite a bit of thought, and I would like to invest it in science, get some microscopes in here, get some metal testing equipment in here, so we can do the metallurgy end of welding, so we don't just say, yes, that weld looks good, or no, that weld doesn't look good. We can cut it, grind it, etch it, look at it under microscope, see how the heat affected zone is affected by what you've done or haven't done. Try some various experiments. So I think, you know, there's a big push locally for math and science, and I think that would lend itself well. And we have limited space, so it's not like I can put 20 more welding stations in there. So I think that's really the way I want to go with it, really.
So this is going to be a great thing for the students in this
Oh,
program.
absolutely. I know they're all excited. I had mentioned to them that they're announcing the winner today, and that's as far as we knew until a few minutes ago, so it was pretty exciting. I'm sure I'll get an earful when I get back in there.
Sure.
Because these are my seniors, so I've had them for last year, so they've gone through this process before without quite as good of results, but it's always been fun either way.
Now, did you have to adapt your program because of the pandemic?
We did have to adapt. I mean, we're using Microsoft Teams. We're doing a lot of online learning stuff with them. We're going to a digital portfolio. We always had a portfolio for employers. So we're going digital with that, and we try to get them online every day on Microsoft Teams to get used to using the online platform. Interviews are probably going to start being online, so we're getting prepared for that. So it's been a pretty good transition. I mean, trying to do a welding trade, a hands-on trade online is not quite as effective as the actual in the classroom, but there's so much theory you need to know. The more you know, the better off you're going to be, and you can apply that when you come up against a situation, you know.
So this is a good recognition of that ability to adapt for changing circumstances.
Yeah, so it's been different, but everybody seems to adapt pretty quick. Maybe quicker than me. I'm fairly new to technology in the sense of online platforms. I don't do social media and all that, so it was a learning curve.
well, later today you're going to be on social media.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm sending this all over.
Mr. Aubin, you're on Twitter already.
Oh, is that right?
Can I ask you one thing? One of the big things that I find with CTE programs is job placement. So can you mention a few of the places that your grads are working, and
Sure.
what are their prospects? I think they're pretty good.
Right now, there's currently about 10 positions available locally. We have local businesses like Jefford Steel, J&S Steel, Bombardier is a big employer. We have just down the runway here, Norse Titanium, which is a very unique facility for additive technology. I think the metallurgy lab idea would help lend itself well for students to bump over there as well, open up some new opportunities for them. There's just, Ducat Steel, I'm going to forget some of them, North American Door Company, Overhead Door Company. There's a bunch of companies that hire my students, so I think job placement is super high, and we have a lot of commitment from the local businesses. We have an advisory committee they all participate on, so not just as a national program, we also focus on local needs. So we do the core curriculum, and then we really invite a lot of business and industry leaders in here, and they tell us what they're doing, what's coming up new. We just bought a brand new welding machine to match what a local company uses all the time, so they can have exposure to it. So, we take into the consideration what's locally happening. Try to keep them here if we can,
So what the students are seeing here is very similar to what they'll be seeing in the job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do a national recognized program through the American Welding Society, and the curriculum's pretty rigorous. It's 2 years long. We cover a lot. People don't even realize how much we cover in here, but we do a lot in here.
So what do you have planned for next year?
For next year, more of the same. Hopefully we'll get some equipment and we can add to our curriculum as far as the metallurgy end and get into the science end of it a lot more and really get, focus on that. And that will help, I think, locally, especially in mine. There's other companies also. Bombardier has a metallurgy lab. They have a pile of certified weld inspectors over there, and they rely on weld testing equipment, metallurgy stuff for nick brake tests, bend tests, tensile tests. So if we can get the kids used to that kind of thing and developing weld procedure specifications, I think it'll maybe open some doors to get them into inspection and testing as well. Not just to have to be a welder, you can advance into other fields in the trade as well.
Awesome. Anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just happy this happened. I mean, I'm getting a little bit older. I was thinking I'm gonna have to do this till I retire, but I'm glad I don't.
Hey Thomas, this is Danny Corwin from Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. Thrilled that you are one of our 2020 Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence winners. To you and to CV-TEC, we admire the incredible work that you do and hope these resources really strengthen you and your students and your program. Congratulations. We look forward to meeting you soon.